yeah, we'll talk about that in an upcoming video for sure. Yeah, that whole building is an arcade, and I've been dying to pop in there and try it. But today we're talking about the Canon M50 and why I think it's still the best option for vlogging in 2020. It's funny, I did a video about the M50 about a week or so ago, and I didn't show a lot of footage from the actual camera in that video, which is ironic. But in this video, we hope to rectify that, as all of this will be shot on the M50. And so I'm going to be testing some things like the autofocus, like the stabilization and things like that. And as far as stabilization, how does it look now? Is it pretty stable right now? I'm on a cheap Gorilla Pod, but what do you guys think about the stabilization right now? Also, for these tests, unless I otherwise specify, I'm gonna be using just the regular old kit lens. So this is what you can get straight out of the box. I know a lot of people do tests with this camera and other cheap cameras, and then they proceed to use, like, you know, the most expensive lenses and things like that. And we'll get into that. I'll show you some footage with some more expensive glass, but I wanted to give you a sense of what this camera is gonna look like as you pull it out of the box. And one thing I like about this kit lens, let's talk about it. Stabilized, first of all, it's got image stabilization, and when you combine that with the digital IS that I'm pretty sure I have turned on right now, I mean, this is pretty smooth. Like, you don't see a lot of micro jitter, you don't see the up and down bounce from me walking around, and yeah, otherwise I mean, it generally just works, so that's nice. Another thing about it is this kit lens is 15 to 45 instead of traditional 18 to 55 that you get. Not as much distance on the long end, but having 15 mil instead of 18, especially with a crop sensor camera like this is still plenty wide enough to vlog with. Also, quick note, I hope the sound isn't trash. I forgot the mic, so you're actually listening to the onboard mic as well. So again, if you just pull this out of the box, onboard mic, basic kit lens, I am using an ND filter, but other than that, this is what you see is what you get. Another thing we have to mention is this buddy right here. This is the fully articulating flip out screen, and I prefer screens that flip out to the side of the camera. I think that that's a must. I know the M6 Mark II is out, and it also uses the same M line like the M50 here, but the flip up screen, I'm just not a fan. I mean, it's definitely good enough to frame your shots and see yourself and all of that good stuff, but I know you can get like a third party like bracket and things like that to offset it with the M6 Mark II, but I don't know, this is doing too much in my opinion, at least at this point in time. Okay, walking down this street, the sound probably isn't much better, and I'm walking with the sun to my back, so sorry about the flares, but I done lost my train of thought. What else we gotta talk about? Lightweight, of course, but that's to be expected with most mirrorless cameras. They're nice and light, and my back thanks me for that every time I take this in my bag or I vlog around. My arms certainly thank me. This thing weighs about a pound or something like that. The B-roll experience, as far as this, I can't tell you how fantastic this is to move up from my T5i and T6i and have more frame rates to work with. For instance, 60 frames a second at 1080p, that's definitely a step up from the 720p that I was using on the previous camera. And so that's really nice. I can even crank this up to 120 frames a second. And so that's pretty baller. Sorry, looking for a better place to chill out. The sound should be much better in here, but I'm looking at that with a jar of what I assume, that's probably not apple juice. I don't think that's apple juice. So yeah, let's find another quiet street to duck down, because this is a bit much. But again, a nice image and the stabilization works for the most part. It's not IBIS, it's an electronic stabilization, but personally I think electronic stabilization is the future once they really get good at doing that. You know, and you see it a lot with cell phones. Cell phones are getting really nifty with their stabilization and the software, and so If the camera companies like Canon can work on that, it'll definitely be a cheaper alternative to adding IBIS, and then you can have stabilization in all your cameras. Another thing I should mention is the time-lapse feature on this. The time-lapse feature is dope. You set it up, and after it shoots it, it'll stitch it together for you in a little video clip, and you can shoot time lapses in 1080p or 4K. So that's fantastic, and of course I always do the 4K ones. You get a little bit less control when they stitch it together for you, but as far as workflow, for me, that's totally fine, because I don't want to spend all that time in post messing with that, along with messing with everything else. So for me, that's fantastic that it stitches together in a video for you, and you can even get a little bit of hyperlapse action because of the stabilization in this camera. And I've got the camera strap on it, so I feel as though I can just hang it on my neck and time lapse as I'm moving and get a hyperlapse. Matter of fact, let's try that right now. So I'm gonna bust this camera out in the mall a little bit. I'm here still looking for a couple of video games on the original Xbox and PS2, and I'm hoping they're here at the mall's vintage stock, but man, it is packed today. Oops, so almost forgot. Ugh. Gotta grab my mask because yeah, there's a lot of people in here. All these people, and yeah. But I can't talk. I'm one of them today. And I gotta get these games, so can I set that there? Okay, and like I said, this is such a smaller camera, and I'm hoping that I can go in here and not get kicked out for filming like I did last time. But this is a much smaller form factor, so I should be able to do that. So let's give it a shot. I'm gonna run in and try to get these games, maybe vlog a little bit, and yeah, we'll see what we got. Okay, so far so good. I've been able to walk around pretty much without any problems. I didn't find the games I was looking for, but I'm also looking for some place to hopefully fix my watch battery. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But back to the review, the form factor of this thing is nice. It's super small, so most people, I mean, probably from far back, it probably looks like I'm vlogging either on a phone or like a little point and shoot, and nothing super professional. So I'm able to do this in public place and not get kicked out like I did with my T5i when I had the T5i on the rig and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm still not gonna take it into any stores or anything like that because I don't want to get like in trouble, but yeah, just for moving around like this. And again, I'm just hand holding it. I don't have it on any kind of Gorilla Pod or anything. And stabilization should be on point. That's funny because this is exactly where I got kicked out last time. And so far so good. Yo, I'm at the third planet. You know what it is. And I'm out. And unfortunately, did not find what I was looking for, but that's okay. That's okay. Still in the mall, still not being kicked out, which is, I'm okay with that. Okay, so the M50 worked beautifully, and I walked around the store and no one seemed to care, which was awesome. So yeah, there you go. I mean, the size of this thing is very similar to a point and shoot camera or even a large cell phone like this, so people see it and just don't seem to notice or care that I'm using it. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. It's beautiful. Again, I put the screen away. I've just got the screen flipped back just to lower the form factor. But again, I know I'm in focus right now. I can trust the dual pixel autofocus to do its thing without even having to see it, and hopefully I'm not wrong on that. Hopefully I don't go back to edit this footage and then it's all out of focus. But yeah, so that's another reason, the size for sure. So in conclusion, the Canon M50, in my opinion, is still one of the best, if not the best vlogging camera of 2020. You get a lightweight camera with great autofocus that shoots 4K, which we didn't even mention in this video, but more on that on an upcoming video. Small form factor. Did I mention the great autofocus? This camera is perfect for anybody who's wanting to vlog on the cheap and get fantastic quality, and that's another thing. For the price, this camera gets fantastic image quality, even with this very good kit lens, which has a nice wide angle at 15mm and has image stabilization, so you can get your walk on and you won't get all that micro jitter like that. But let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. What do you guys think about the Canon M50? Do you own one, or do you think this is something that you can add in your arsenal? Let me know. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.